Hello, my name is Bruce Dweck with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm here with Justin Cerrato of Blue Ocean Title, an attorney, real estate attorney, and title company operations manager. And we're here to help answer questions that people have about real estate and real estate transactions. And one of the things that comes up, people have questions about and issues with, are dealing with problems with title. So I'm going to ask Justin, what are the common problems that we run into and how are they resolved? Do you resolve them all, or do we need to have the engagement of the seller to make sure these things are resolved? So how do we move forward when we have issues with title?
Perfect. Well, first off, thank you for having me, Bruce, and a very good question. And I'll just take a few moments to address, title matters, kind of define what are your, or identify your common title matters, and also speak to who is obligated to correct those title matters. So first off, let me define just a few. So first off, you can have survey matters, you can have encroachments that cause title issues. You can have, anytime there's a divorce scenario, a bankruptcy scenario, a death of an owner. Those are all things that should immediately prompt questions from either I as the closing attorney, from Bruce as the agent, and then we would engage with the seller and fish for answers that would allow us to work through those title matters and clear those title matters. Whether it be something as simple as getting a payoff on a judgment lien and paying it out at closing, or, the more extreme scenario is having to administer an estate to have the ability to legally convey title to a particular parcel. So, sellers out there, we get a title exam, we review it, we digest it, we reach out to you with certain questions, and certainly capable of explaining what needs to transpire in order to clear title. But obviously, it's important because clearing title is best for both the seller and the buyer. It just avoids later headaches and gives that buyer peace of mind that they own that property free and clear.
Great. Well, that's good to know. So if there are other liens out there, and those can be paid out of the estate, actually out of the process where, excuse me here, I'll turn this down. So any lien often can be settled from, the closing proceeds.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
well, that's good to
so
know.
if there's sufficient equity in the property and there's an HOA lien, for example, for past due assessments, a mechanics lien, a judgment lien tied to perhaps a small claims action for maybe credit card debt, then
Gotcha.
yes, absolutely. And assuming they all attach to the property, which we will determine, then yes, we can either, work out a settlement on those debts or just pay them in full, quite frankly. And to answer your question, yes, they can all be paid out of the proceeds.
Excellent. So it's important then that the seller inform his agent and the title company as soon as possible if they're aware of anything, so that they can be managed effectively, so that it doesn't slow down the closing process.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. If a seller is well aware of an issue, it's best that that seller, just be open and honest and reveal that issue up front, because it just gives us probably a week or two to get started on that issue. Ultimately, it will be revealed by way of a title exam. But again, just to keep the process moving forward and to assure that we're meeting timelines, contractual timelines, then yes, best practice is for that seller to just be open and honest and communicate.
Excellent. Well, that's good to know. But like you say, sometimes they're discovered and they are a surprise. People are not always aware that liens may be put on their property for one reason or the other, but there are ways to deal with it, and you can help the seller work through that process. Well, that's great information to know, Justin, and we appreciate your time today. And all those watching, feel free to ask further questions. Reach out to me or Blue Ocean Title. We're happy to address your questions and help you make your real estate transaction go smoothly. Thank you very much for watching.